What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite dating coach, Elliot Scott, and as you can see by the title below, we're going to talk about surefire signs a guy is not interested in you. And the reason I'm making this video is it's a win-win for both of us. If you save yourself some time by not wasting it on these dudes, you can watch more of my videos, right? So it's a win-win. But if you want to make sure that you get the guy, you hook the guy, that he sees you long-term, and doesn't just see you as friends with benefits, no more hot and cold bullshit, please make sure to either get a session with me or check out my guide. It's a 275-page ebook that talks about male psychology, how we choose a mate, why we choose this one over this one, and what men actually commit to. 275 pages in depth on how to get men to see you as high value, not just a sexual object, and get them to want to commit long term, okay? And secondly, if I'm looking over here, it's because my notes are right here. I have 8 different things I want to talk about, so enough yapping. Let's just dive in. The first thing is a man moves too damn slow. Okay, in terms of companionship. I talked about this before. I talked about this actually in several of my videos. There's a difference between, and women justify it all the time. They're like, well, we're on date 5 and he didn't have to go on 5 dates with me, so it means something, right? Well, I don't know. Is he getting any assets from, if he's hitting it and he's getting a lot of attention and validation from you, well, that could be the reason why he's on date 5, date 6, date 7, date 8 with you. The thing you need to look at, though, ladies, is it progressing? Is it telling a story? Like, is it going somewhere? Is there an end goal, right? You're not going to flip pages forever. Is it going somewhere? Does it start to feel like a relationship? Is he investing more? Does it feel more? Okay, is there compatibility, companionship, progression towards something bigger than just what he wants and what you want? If it's not, you have a problem. Again, a guy can go on date 1, date 5, date 7, date 10, whatever with a woman and never commit. I see it all the time in my line of work. So it's important for you to see, okay, what date are we on? Is it where it should be in terms of like feelings and threading and all that kind of, is it where it needs to be at this point? If it's not, you got a problem, ladies. It needs to be progressing in terms of a story, of a narrative. Is it going somewhere? I know I repeated myself several times there, but a lot of women, for some reason, like to justify it. But it is what it is. The second thing is he's very hesitant on crossing the line. And what I mean by this is it's like hot and cold behavior, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But you have to understand that when a man goes after these assets, right? This desire. He desires the assets. To get these, he has to invest resources, time, energy, effort, money, whatever it is. He has to give to receive. And this giving, right? I always say it starts off on a blank canvas. The context, what you guys have is a blank canvas. And every time he does an action, it's flicking paint on the canvas. And over time, it starts to paint a picture. He knows this. So what he likes to do is be hot when he wants the assets, but then try to contrast it with a cold behavior, letting you know, hey, I didn't. That doesn't mean I jumped on board. Yeah, I blew up your shit and we banged and had a good weekend together, but I'm not jumping on board yet. I'm not putting both my feet in the water. I'm not putting both my feet through the door. So a lot of guys like to do that. And if you see that, that's a clear sign it is not moving towards a relationship. The next one is inconsistency of any type. Here's the thing, ladies, and I talked about this in my last video. Consistency means I like you. Semi-consistent means I'm unsure. Inconsistency means I'm maybe taking you for granted, and I'm hesitant on investing my resources in you, right? Because people just avoid risk. Not that you're a risk, just why would I invest my resources in you when I'm unsure? It's just like anything in life. It's not even relationships. If you look outside of relationships and you look at like investing money or something, it's the same thing. Inconsistency, though, means 2 things. It means I feel like I have you. I don't fear losing. Well, I guess it means three things. I don't fear losing you, or I'm just not interested. So if you see inconsistency, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. Number 4, not investing. These are all, as you can see, kind of like threaded together. Not investing my resources into you. What I tell women this all the time, especially my clients. The resources are the most essential thing on proving my worth to you. Why? Because resources are finite. There's a limited amount of my time, my energy, my effort, my money. I am giving myself a part of me to you if I like you. The more he likes you, the more he's going to invest. Why? Because logically, if women aren't just putting out so early, logically, it's more secured. The more I give, the more likely, if we're getting along and you like me too, the more likely it is to work out. So if a guy likes you, logically, he would invest more in you because, at least if he wants a relationship, because he's more likely to get the goal that he wants, which is a relationship. When a guy's not investing his resources and you're still in the picture, it's going to go from casual to convenience because you're not going anywhere. It's going to be, I'll come around when I want to come around, I'll leave when I want to leave. And you're not going anywhere. Why would I assume you're going anywhere? You haven't yet. Okay, so if you're not getting consistent amount of resources, I guess that's what you can say, inconsistency. So consistent amount of resources over time with the guy, meaning it should feel like it's progressing towards something. You see how all this is working off each other. If you're not getting that, then you're not going to get a relationship. Simple as that, ladies. Next one is any type of hot or cold behavior. I'm just going to brush over this. Hot means I want something. Cold means it's basically convenience. Cold means I don't. Leave me the fuck alone. Okay? That's why I tell women you want consistency. Hot isn't bad. It's only bad when it's in contrast with cold. Because if this guy is always hot, and I don't mean in terms of love bombing, but it's always hot, that's a great thing. But when you see a lot of hot and then you see a lot of cold, you got a problem. You don't want inconsistency. You don't want hot and cold behavior. The next thing, you're not in a relationship after 8 dates. Ladies, if a guy is still talking to you and you're 8 dates in and you're not in a relationship, there is absolutely no reason for him to commit. You're not going anywhere. Why would I commit to you? Why? You're not going anywhere. Okay, and if you stick around after 8 dates, and women do this all the time, they become very hopeful. I don't feel like he likes me enough. I don't want to do it yet. Or if I do it, he pulls away. I mean, fuck, like just throw the bone at him, man. I mean, fuck, like you're just giving him all the advantages in the world. Stop letting him take advantage of you. Women get to the point where they lower their value so much because they fear losing a guy that a guy takes advantage of it, and then they wonder why they're in the situation they're in. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. At 8 dates, I don't give a shit. At 8 dates, if you are not in a relationship, get the hell out of it. Say, hey, you can't make up your mind, homie. Let me know when your mind's made up. And then you go do your own thing. Don't sit around and wait. Guys take advantage of that shit all the time. But again, if you want to avoid that, just get the link or just click the link below and get my guide. It will show you how to be a high-value woman in his eyes. The next one, do you make him feel better, be better, do better? Men only commit to assets, not liabilities. That doesn't mean you can't have liabilities. Obviously, no one is perfect, and I always say the more a man likes a girl, the more margin of error someone has. You know, like you can have a really good running back, sorry to say, I mean, this is a horrible analogy, who fumbles here and there, but if he's a really good running back, you don't give a shit about the fumbles. Everyone fumbles. You know, or you can have a really good salesman who has a bad week. Hey, usually he's on top of it. Doesn't matter. Same with you. You know, you guys can have your fights. You guys can, you can pick your battle. Whatever. You guys can have a bunch of ups and downs. But if the ups are worth it, the downs don't look like any. It's like whatever. They're irrelevant. It doesn't matter. I want the assets. But if you're not making them feel better, be better, do better. Not that that's your job. I mean that in terms of like companionship, like support system. Guys want that in their corner. But if you don't have that, or if he doesn't feel that with you, then that's a problem. And lastly, is there an actual benefit to committing to you? If there is no benefit to committing to you, I'm not going to commit to you. And here's what I mean by that. You have to ask yourself two questions. You have to ask yourself, what is he getting by committing to me that he's not getting right now? Right? So if you're already hooking up with him a bunch and it already feels like you're his girlfriend and all that kind of shit, and you stick around and he doesn't have to say anything, he's probably not. Why would he commit? Why would he commit? The second thing is, if he did commit, what would he be losing? So if it's a guy who wants a relationship and he wants it with you, he wouldn't be losing anything. But if it's a guy who's unsure and you're wondering why he's not committing, you have to ask yourself those two questions. You have to ask yourself, what would he be getting that he's not getting now if he commits? And you have to ask, well, what's he losing? If it's a guy who's unsure, he's probably losing out on singleness, his freedom, the other woman he's talking to, being able to do whatever the hell he wants, when he wants, how he wants to do it without having to answer you and you know, not tune in, what's it called, check in and whatever. I know that sounds like horrible, but a relationship is a sacrifice. A relationship is a lifestyle. Some people just don't want to live that lifestyle yet. And women get mad when I say that, but it's the truth. A relationship is a sacrifice. I'm not saying it's not worth it. It is. But you have to be a certain person. You have to be selfless. You have to take care of two people, not just yourself. And I don't mean that in terms of literally taking care of them. I just mean you're a team now. You have to be a very, very good communicator. You sometimes have to put another person before yourself. A lot of people just aren't willing to do that. And if he's getting a lot of benefits from you now, why would he? Okay? So, but again, if you want to avoid all that, just click the link below. Get my guide, 275 pages on attracting men long-term and getting them to see you as a wife, not just hit it and quit it. But ladies, if that has helped you, please click the red button. I love you all forever. Take care and peace.